When you were in your marriage, were you still in that place where you weren't allowing yourself to take up space, I imagine? And
I couldn't.
You were just outgrowing that, obviously.
Yeah.
Did he take it well? We are here with Parvati Shallow. So happy to have you in the studio today. My God, what a fascinating life you have. Let's just jump right in. Because we were just talking about this and I have many questions. You were born in a cult.
We're calling it a spiritual community.
Same thing.
Or schmalt. And it had a lot of, it was really, I don't know, it was really interesting. It was run by a female guru.
Fascinating.
Rare.
Yeah.
And her origin story is wild. I write about it in my book. She was from Brooklyn, and her name was Joyce Green, and just like a mom, and was overweight, went to a weight loss camp or something, learned this breath technique, and then got some spiritual powers, and then fully started recruiting, started a whole community in Florida. And at the time, this was sort of a la mode. There were gurus coming over from India, bringing yoga to the United States at the time in the 70s and the 80s. And she just jumped on that bandwagon. And that's where I was born.
So she claimed to be enlightened because she found a breath technique because there's breath techniques that can make you hallucinate as if you're on a psychedelic.
Yeah, I imagine it was that style, probably a holotropic breath technique that I've done with part of my healing program for myself. I've gone and done these kinds of breath practices that have been super helpful. But I think it's like these practices work.
Right.
But when they're in the hands of someone who doesn't have integrity, it can get twisted around. So in the beginning, the community seemed really nice, beautiful, idyllic, like-minded people, spiritual seekers were coming together and, joining in community and living together in these communal houses. When I was born, my mom, my dad, and I lived in one bedroom in like a 4-bedroom house with 5 or 6 other families.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah, so cute. I'm like, as a mom, I'm like, oh my God, having a baby and then having to share a bathroom, I would not be okay.
I wouldn't want to share a bathroom without a baby. I cannot imagine. Yeah.
I know.
And how did your parents get involved in the spiritual community? Did they ever tell you like what drew them to it?
Yeah, I wrote about it in my book. I interviewed them because I didn't have, those memories were before I was, those experiences that they had were before I was born. So in order to get their story, to write it out for chapter 1, I interviewed them, and my mom it's really interesting because they both had similar experiences in different parts of the country, because my mom was in California, my dad was in New Hampshire. And they were both very young, like in their late teens, early 20s. They went to a meditation experience with the guru. Her name was Ma. So once she was transitioned from Joyce, the housewife, to
Ma,
the guru, her name changed to Ma. Okay. And she led these meditation experiences, and they both were like, it was a profound, transcendent experience where they felt the oneness of God and love. And they were like, I want more of that. I want to be a part of this. And they were so young, and they didn't really have a solid sense of what they were doing with their lives.
Sure.
Which I think
Perfect bait for a cult.
Yeah,
it happens.
Grief, lack of purpose, being overweight.
Yeah, being young.
3 great things that will make you want to. Being overweight and not wanting to be overweight, yeah.
Yeah, wanting to change or wanting to be a part of something that gives you meaning in your life. Yeah. And that's sort of where they were. And they'd both come from ultra-religious childhoods. They were both Catholic.
Yeah. Ooh. And so, I'm sure that they experienced some damage from that.
Kind of,
restriction.
Yes, it's like yes, and it's both.
Yeah.
So they had these really mystical experiences as children in the Catholic Church.
Okay.
Chanting Latin chants and doing the ritual communion, and they felt very connected to God there. And then they also felt restricted by the dogma of Catholicism. So they both were like, I don't want to do this anymore. So they'd broken free from the Catholic Church, and then they were sort of adrift. And then they got scooped up.
And they met each other, so they came from different places. They met in Florida at this spiritual group. Wow.
Yeah, I was born there, named by the guru.
You were okay. That's why you have an Indian name, first name. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
What made them want to leave?
Well, the book opens with a scene of my mom throwing me out of a window to my dad below, catching me, and they're escaping in the middle of the night when I was just born, because they'd realized things had gotten really unhealthy in that community, and they were like, we got to get out of here. So they bailed and they moved to California, but they didn't have enough support and structure built up to sustain that change, which I learned happens. You know, I learned this statistic when I was writing my book, and it's that it takes someone 7 times on average to leave an abusive relationship.
Yes. Because one of the tenets that an abuser has is to make sure you're dependent on them.
Right.
So it's very tricky to leave.
Yes. And then if you leave, you're probably already
No one
been
likes
so
you anymore.
isolated.
Yeah.
You don't have any friends or a community set up. So they went back. And then, so I know, spoiler.
So they snuck you back through
That
the
happened
window.
with R. Kelly a lot. They went back a lot to R. Kelly.
Super common.
Because they're dangling, like the community and the guru was dangling like spiritual protection and your friends and family and this connection to this feeling. There was this feeling that they had there that was this love feeling, this bliss feeling.
Yeah. From all of the oxygen they were getting from the breath work.
They were so high.
Like little
from the
did they
breath
know
work.
that it was just the breath work. You can go for a run and get that same feeling.
I know, but as a kid too. So I grew up in this commune until I was 9. Then we left for good.
Wild.
So for me as a kid, that was just normal.
You were doing the breath work as a kid?
I was doing the breath work. We were doing the chanting. We would have these fire ceremonies at night where all the families would come sit around this fire. Very tribal council.
Yeah, which is like cool and lovely
Chanting.
if you're not being a cult about it. You know?
Right.
So you had like these really cool spiritual practices as a child that most children aren't exposed to. So that's cool that you got at least that takeaway.
So it was kind of like for me as a kid, I thought it was really special and
Did
cool.
you like this woman when you were a child?
As a kid, I think you don't really know. Like, I just watched every adult around me bowing to this woman, giving her everything, placating her every whim. And so as a kid, that's confusing. Your own parents are doing that. Like, watching everyone's parents bow down to this one person. I mean, I wrote the line. I was like, that's what I learned what love was. That's love.
Right.
Ideation and just idolizing and putting on a pedestal.
And there's one special person who has all this power and this charisma, and everyone loves and worships this person.
That's so interesting because I went to see a trauma therapist a while ago, and she would say like children think their parents are God, essentially, and they just look up to them. So it's interesting that you're a child, you think your parents are this, but that power transfers to this one woman, so that all of these children are growing up thinking she's God. That's got to be wild for her ego. Was she ever violent?
Yes.
Ooh, how? So
she would do. So I describe these scenes in the chapter that I'm talking about, and she would have these all night meditations, and if people would fall asleep, she would kick them or slap them.
Cute.
Yeah.
So she didn't need sleep?
I don't know what she was running on.
Cocaine. Okay.
Yeah, so I think there was like drug abuse also for her.
Wow.
Yeah. And now when you left, your family left and came back, was there retaliation towards your family? The way like it's Scientology, there's often retaliation.
Yeah, there was. I mean, she would send like goon squads after people. And
What would they do?
Goon squad? Like, she's like her minions?
people would receive threats if they left.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of intimidation being used so people wouldn't leave.
And I'm sure somebody that's as revered as, or like she looked up to in that group, I imagine she would give silent treatments or like kind of be like passive aggressive towards people. And that would probably hurt really bad because everybody looks at her as this, like, you're our leader.
Well, my parents were punished for leaving when we left and when we came back. And their punishment was that they couldn't live together. They were separated. So my dad had to stay in a different building than
So they wouldn't be in cahoots.
me and my mom, and they couldn't speak to each other for multiple months.
Whoa.
I know. So my dad watched me take my first steps like silently from the doorway.
Oh,
Jesus.
I know.
Wow. I mean, yeah, I get why people go into cults. I get it, unfortunately. But your parents were really strong.
They're amazing, and they were my first example of survival. Like,
Cool.
this is what it takes to get out of a really unhealthy situation, and you have to be brave and do it. If it's damaging your life, you've got to get out of it, no matter the cost. And I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah, and so there's such an obvious to me parallel, which I'm sure you talk about too, is your marriage that ended. You felt like you were in a cult of two, which a lot of people who write us in, I'm like, you're in a cult and not a relationship. That's pretty common.
I mean, the hallmarks of a cult are there. There's like financial non-disclosure. There's like all the kind of things that you see on Instagram about gaslighting and blaming and blame shifting. And there was all that. So you can Google I would say if you're feeling even a shadow of a doubt in your mind that you could maybe be in a cult, just Google it and you'll relate to those symptoms.
How did your marriage happen? Like, how'd you meet? And then how did you realize?
you met on Survivor, right? Or through Survivor?
We met kind of through Survivor. Yeah. My friend Ethan's on, actually, who I'm meeting tonight for a comedy show.
Nice.
He hosted a charity soccer tournament, and that's how I met my ex-husband now.
Okay. So how did that relationship start to blossom? Did he give you cult signs at the beginning?
No, he was so warm and kind and funny and friendly, and it was great at first. I mean, I wrote about this in detail too because I think it's really helpful to hear other people's stories. I'm like, when I got divorced, I was like, dang, I was sitting in my apartment alone, and I was like, how did I get here? I felt like I got hit by a 2x4.
Yeah.
So I really had to take a close look at my own choices and the part that I played in creating my life.
Sure.
Because it was my life, so I wasn't heavily involved.
That's good to remember. A lot of people, especially on the show, will write in and be like, "This guy was evil," and I'm like, "Well, you were there too."
Yeah, you're there.
So you have to leave.
There's some kind of benefit, and for me at the time, I just I was in a dark place from having played Survivor so many times, and I received a lot of backlash.
Yeah.
From playing Survivor, I was really slut-shamed. I was kind of raked across the coals with the media and with fans, and for playing for using my sexuality to advance myself in the game.
Sexuality is used against us all the time. I feel like that's it's your right to use it if you want to use it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was reading so many articles about it. I was just like, oh, fuck everyone, truly. It's crazy. Well, I was more interested though. So you say you were in a dark place from playing it from the, the public backlash or response, but does playing the actual game, because you have to play dirty to win, kind of. Does that leak into your real life?
Yes.
Yeah, because I was.
It does.
Yeah, how can it not, right? Because you get so into it.
Well, I was 22 when I played the game, and I had no context for this is a game. And then when you're done, you're back to your regular life. I didn't have a regular life. I was a waitress and a boxer and a party girl. So once I played Survivor, I came home and I was like, who am I?
Yeah.
I'm a bad person.
Right. And also getting dragged by the media and then having everybody weigh in is just like, ugh, you have absolutely no control over that. And so that's a pretty crushing feeling.
Which is why I wrote the book, because I have given away my power of my story to producers, to TV shows. So I was like, I am going to write my own story in my own words.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it felt like a reclamation to do that.
Do you feel like the way that you were edited and shown on TV was an accurate reflection on how you were behaving on the show? Or do you feel like they edited you into the character they wanted you to be?
I mean, yeah, that was me on the show, and also a character. So they had to distill it down to make me kind of
one-noter.
Yeah, like an edible.
You're this
person.
Girl. Yeah, one adjective person.
Exactly. They've shifted the way that they're editing now and the way they're producing the show, so they're making people a little more complete humans. But when I first played, it was very like archetypal, like you fit a box.
For sure. Well, and because we as the public respond to that, like even on Instagram, if you have like even more than like 2 concepts going on your page, people have trouble grasping who you are. So we wonder why we're not showing people as complex humans. It's like, well,
you don't
part
wanna
of it
see
is
that.
our fault because we're like, oh, how can you be 2 things?
Well,
how
it's
can you
a-
be funny but also care about the world? Like it makes people's heads explode.
Right. Because we want to know, are we rooting for you or against you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So polarizing.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially women, because it's like it's in the eyes of like society, but more men's eyes. Like I either want to fuck you or you have something good to say.
Exactly.
You can't be both. You can't be both.
You
That
can,
doesn't
and if
exist.
you're both, you're a slut.
Yeah, yeah, you're
Or
a
a
dumb
villain.
whore. Yeah. And on Survivor, like I was asking you this before we started rolling, but like, so you could be in the woods and like a fucking anaconda could be approaching you, and the cameramen just have to film it and not say, "Hey, Parvati, there's like a snake there. Don't step on it." Like were there moments where like the camera person should have stepped in and they didn't?
Oh, man.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. There was a night vision shot. Actually, this was on the show. Season 40, Winners at War.
Winners
there's
at War.
a night vision shot where we're sleeping and we all sleep with the buffs over our heads so that the bugs don't crawl into our mouths.
Cute.
At night.
It's protein.
Oh my God. Yeah, I guess. Do better in the challenge if you eat a spider. Yeah. I look at the screen and I'm like, oh my God, there's a huge spider on someone's sleeping face. And I was like, oh, that's awful. And I get closer up and I'm like, oh, that's my face. It was my own face.
Like a tarantula spider? Like
It looked massive.
holy shit. And they just were filming away. Todd was just eating his chips, filming that spider on your fucking face.
exactly what they're
My
doing.
God.
Do you get any information on like the environment you're walking into and the types of animals or insects you'll see and like which ones are poison? Do you get that much information going into it?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, I got to look out for this spider, this snake.
But they all
Yeah.
look the same.
No, I can imagine.
This
You have
fish-
shoes on Survivor, right? Do you have shoes?
Yeah, you
okay.
can have shoes. But I lose all my stuff. I lose my shoes, my underwear, my bathing suits. I lose everything.
Yeah, I mean-
you don't have a dresser.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Your priorities are completely upside down. I've watched the show Naked and Afraid before, and I'm like, whoa, y'all have some balls.
Would you
to
do it?
that. Absolutely the fuck not. Bugs?
For $1 million.
No. I'd sooner
$1
start an
million in
OnlyFans.
2025 in Manhattan.
Yeah, what are you gonna
actually
do?
Isn't
I'm gonna buy half a house.
Taxes is not
I'm gonna buy
really
half a
enough.
house. Yeah, I could take one subway ride and buy one house.
You're like, I'll save the PTSD.
It's funny
Yeah.
because the naked and
I
the,
just show
and
my
the,
pussy.
and the woods and the jungle is not the part that's scary for me. It's like the reality TV part is the
manipulation.
because you have no control over it,
Right.
Over how you're going to be shown to the public. I'm like the naked in the jungle. That's fine. I would do that part for $1 million.
yeah.
It's the reality TV part, but you're a seasoned reality TV.
Yeah, you've been on so many shows, so you're like good at it. Like you know what to do. You should coach people.
I would. I could, if I love you, I will help you win Survivor.
Yeah. That's great.
But I think what's happening in reality TV now is what you're saying is
Right.
people are coming on, if they're new players, they're coming on thinking about their edit.
Right.
And they're like, okay, I don't want to say this. I don't want to do that because my edit. So now we're seeing a trend of people wanting to play an honest game, wanting
that's
to
cute.
look good and wanting to be good people. And I'm like,
Yawn.
The producers are like, "Why did we hire you? This sucks."
yeah, but it's also the game's not set up for that.
Yeah.
That's a different game. So if you want
Right.
to play an honest game, you got to find a different game to play. Like maybe The Amazing Race or something that's not so cutthroat.
Right.
Well, and also, since the beginning of time, humans have used manipulation and coercion as part of their own survival skills. So it's like, yeah, of
Well,
course.
I think that's also something that I really wanted to highlight in my book. It's not a book that's like, I'm a good person, I'm a hero. It's like, I'm a human, and you are too. And we all have light and dark aspects to ourselves. So
100%.
I get to a place in like the third act of the book where I'm integrating all these things that I was once really ashamed of, like being slutty, being greedy, looking out for number one, being competitive, all those things. I come from the yoga community.
Yeah.
You can't be selfish. You can't think of yourself ever.
Yeah,
And when
right.
I was born in the commune, it's like if you were not giving everything away to the guru, you were bad and had an ego, and that had to be killed and gotten rid of. So my whole life's work has really been kind of coming home to myself and being like, oh, it's okay to have needs. It's okay to be selfish. It's okay to prioritize yourself, especially as a mother in this society too. It's something that we forget.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make that okay.
Yeah, I love that you self-described as greedy. I think many of us are greedy, but few would self-describe as that. Do you feel like that was a response from having to give everything away as a child, or is it just you love stuff, or like you love money? Like what? Like money fuels you? It's a capitalist nation. Makes sense. Like,
I mean, I think I'm like experientially greedy.
Yeah, totally.
yeah.
Like
You want to feel it all. You want to
feel
try it all.
I want to try it all. I want to taste everything.
Totally.
If you take me to the ice cream shop, I'm going to get every single flavor.
Yeah.
I don't even think that's greedy. I think that's just like
adventurous.
Yeah, you're just like open to stuff. Most people try so few things, or like I hear people like, biting their nails. Like, I've always wanted to sing in public, but I'm just like really little things that are like little. And I'm just, for me, I'm just like, just do it tomorrow.
Yeah, let yourself take up space. Let yourself enjoy life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you still, when you were in your marriage, were you still in that place where you weren't allowing yourself to take up space, I imagine? And
I
then
couldn't.
You were just kind of outgrowing that, obviously.
Yeah.
Did he take it well? I feel like a person like that, like a partner like that's controlling, that ends up being controlling, they really freak out when you go, oh, actually, I do have the guts to leave you. And you're like, no, you don't. And then you've got to watch them flail.
It was really tricky because a lot of things happened in a compressed period of time. Like I went back and played Survivor winners I'd had a baby, played winners at war. Then the pandemic shut down the world. Then my little brother died of a drug overdose. Then I was like, okay, I'm going to divorce this guy. I don't want to be with him anymore. Because once my brother died, I was like, life is very fragile, and I want to live a life that I'm really, really proud of. I don't want to have regrets and say that I sold myself out when I could have been something more. So staying in the marriage for me at the time was like, I would have to kill my soul to stay in this marriage. And if I did, I would never know what love was. Like, I was like, I really want to have a chance at knowing what love is. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to get divorced. I'm literally scared to say the word out loud. Like I couldn't say the word. Yeah. So I'm Googling how to I write the scene. I write the scene in my book because I was like, oh my God, I feel like such a lunatic, like going on WebMD, basically like, what is this rash? And I Googled divorce, like how do I do it? And then the following day, my husband calls me, he's diagnosed with cancer.
Stop.
So I was like, how do I
Great timing.
Yeah, I was like, the
Divorce.
controlling never stops.
Is he really?
Jesus.
He was really diagnosed with cancer?
Really, for real, I was
Okay,
there
all right,
when
well.
I was in the hospital. Yeah,
Jesus.
so I know it was really, really hard because then I was like,
You told him, were you like, God damn it? And he's like, well, that's an interesting reaction.
oh God, no, I felt so bad. I was like, oh my God, what's happening? It was like whiplash.
Yeah.
It was so
Shit.
discombobulating. So I stayed longer because I was like, I'm going to support you and help you through this. And then it just got untenable. Like we couldn't.
Yeah.
I had
Wow,
to go.
that's such an interesting timing. When you finally did tell him he still had cancer?
Yes.
That sucks. Well,
Yes.
you're like, I can't, it's not serving you, it's not serving
Well,
you.
that's the thing. And I think also women are taught to be a good wife. You have to kind of martyr yourself, or to be a good mother, you have to
sacrifice
your needs and
Yeah.
caretake. And that's how you're good at those roles. And for me, I was like, okay, well, I've already been labeled a villain before. So I guess I really am. Like, I'm going to divorce this guy in the middle of his cancer treatment because I have to.
Yeah.
I have to choose myself here. And it was a real paradigm shift for me.
Yeah,
It was
imagine.
like a moment of demarcation.
It's interesting when you make those major decisions for yourself and you take the pivot that you knew you should have, it's a long time coming that you take this pivot. Things kind of fall into place in a way that you're like, oh, it's like your spiritual pipes are clean because you're no longer in a situation that goes against yourself.
Right. That's right.
How'd you tell him and what'd he say? What did you say? What'd he say?
Well, I told him in a therapy session.
That's very smart and gentle, I imagine.
I needed a witness.
Yeah.
Because I wanted it to be real.
Yeah. What do you remember what you said?
I just said, I don't want to be married anymore. I don't want to work on this marriage anymore. We'd been working on it for many years and it wasn't changing or improving. So I said, I'm not going to do this anymore.
Was he understanding? Was he...
I think he was deflated. He didn't want to not be married.
Yeah. Corinne and I always
So you
say,
think
like,
he just wanted to be married? Sorry, just be married, not married to you? Like he just wanted to be a married person?
I can't speak for
Right.
what he was thinking or what he wants.
Right.
He's just, he's a guy who has, his parents are still married. He's traditional in that way. He wanted to keep the family intact.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was really up to me to be strong for myself.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't healthy for anyone. It wasn't good for him. It wasn't good for my daughter.
Kid, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and so you can all thrive. Like we said, we give this advice a lot. Like so when someone's nervous to leave, but it's an abusive situation, I'm like, you're doing the best thing for yourself, and you're also doing the best thing for them, even though they might fight you on that. Like eventually they'll realize that
maybe, or maybe they won't, and they'll hate you
still
forever.
And that's fine. That's their own burden to bear.
Fine. You living your best life is the best. It's all you can ask for.
Yeah.
Also, if no one hates you in your entire life, you've led a very boring life.
You're kind of lame.
Very boring.
People who are liked by everybody are the most boring people I've
I
ever met in my
know.
life.
Yeah, you got to stand for yourself
So how did life open up for you after you made this decision?
in every way.
Yeah.
It was like a dam broke. I was finally alone. I write about it like it's the meat of my story.
Yeah.
Because it's where everything changed for me. Like I had been living in survival mode my whole life, fight, flight, freeze, fawn. And once I got filed for divorce and I was living on my own, it was the first time that I could feel my own energy.
Ooh, yeah.
And I had peace. Occasionally, my daughter was not with me, which was a whole grief process in itself. Like when he had her for his custody time. And I was alone. I was like, oh my God, who am I? And sort of all of the pieces of my personality just self-destructed.
Yeah. When you realize your entire personality was crafted on like pleasing other people, you're like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah, like I don't want to do that anymore. That's not an authentic life. And I just really let myself break apart.
That's good. Yeah. Like freak out, cry.
Everything.
Yeah.
And then I hired a bunch of healers. I started writing my book, which was helpful, very grounding. And I hired so many healers, like these surrogate mothers.
Oh, cool.
Because we can do that.
They will come across your path. Yeah, I had a woman when I was having a breakdown that was like my like spiritual mother throughout it, and she was the only one I felt comfortable calling. Like, I want to die, and she's like, okay.
Yeah.
So that's really so. What types of healers did you hire? Like, obviously, like maternal energy was part of it, but what else did they offer you? Like,
they were wise women.
Yeah.
Medicine women.
Cool.
I had a Rolfer, which is
Rolfing. I've always wanted to try that. I do Heller work. I love Heller work.
You're a runner. You got to do Rolfing.
Can you explain?
Can you explain what this is?
Yeah.
I'm pretty woo and I've never even heard of this.
It's structural integration. So they're working on your fascia, your connective tissue,
Right.
which we know
Restore trauma.
stores trauma, holds tension and stress patterns through the ages. So they work on that like fascia level and they'll rearrange your body. So it's like if you're in a trauma response, your body will kind of freeze into that position. And then you don't even realize you're walking around in this sort of locked in the past because of the way you're holding your body. So a Rolfer who's good will help you unravel that tension pattern so that you can be free in your body. And then you can see things differently. You hear things differently. You make different choices.
It's like your blood flows. I remember when I got Heller work done, it was just a massage table. And that woman that I said was my spiritual mother, she was the one who did it on me. And she would press muscles on my abdomen. And I would just vomit up tears. I wasn't sad when I was crying, but if you saw me, you'd be like, oh my God, are you okay? But I was like, oh wow, this is just like, it's vomiting.
Yeah,
with feelings.
Release.
Yeah.
Because all those feelings, they just get stuck because you can't, sometimes it's not safe to complete the stress response.
Right.
So if you're in a car accident, you might be just numb or in shock. Or if you're in an abusive situation with your boss or your partner and you're getting screamed at, but you're holding a baby, you have to protect the baby. So yourself kind of takes all that abuse. So in order to to heal that and unravel that tension pattern or that trauma, it's really helpful to be in a therapeutic relationship with someone who's skilled, who can work it out of your body. So that's what I did. I did somatic therapy, somatic experiencing, which is Peter Levine's work.
Yes.
I write so much about this in
Yeah.
the book too. So and there's also resources at the back of the book.
Nice.
For anyone who reads this and is like, or is listening to this podcast and is like, what is that stuff? There's resources and books to read. I read this book called Complex PTSD. So I did a bunch of reading. I did these body work practices. I did the holotropic breath work called Groff. It was a 3-day breath retreat where we did 3 hours at a time of this like deep circular breathing.
Is it like Lamaze, but like
No, it's like in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth, circular. You're laying down, you have a blindfold on, you have a blanket, and there's someone sitting with you to help you through this experience. And it's like a big purge, sobbing, screaming, people are shaking, like sweating.
By the the second hour, does shit start getting real, or
It gets real right away. I don't know if you've ever done. They have these kind of studios, like breathwork studios, all over the place.
Right.
They have one.
I've not gone to one. I don't know why. I mean, I'm super like into experiencing all of the things as you mentioned, and breathwork is one of the ones I want to dive deeper into.
Give it a go.
Yeah, because the runner's high is real.
Yeah.
Because you're getting so much oxygen. It's just
it's
really
a complete state shift.
Yeah.
So they're meant to induce altered states of consciousness, which sort of breaks down the survival programming is the amygdala.
Yeah.
Which is our fear kind of center in the brain. And when you do these kinds of therapies, like somatic experiencing or Rolfing, I was doing acupuncture also, and then the like holotropic breath work, it breaks you out of that part of the brain and puts you in a more like sort of euphoric state. I don't know what part of the brain gets activated. I'm not a neuroscientist, but there are people who are neuroscientists who could tell you. But it feels good.
Yeah.
That's all I knew. It's like I just wanted to feel better, and
Yeah.
these things helped me feel better.
Yeah, I imagine the thinking, the frontal lobe of your brain, which is where all of our thoughts and like, well, was he mad at me or whatever, that happens, that gets shut down. I studied this one woman who I love is a medium, and she had scientists study her when she gives readings, and she's like, my brain waves, you would think I'm in a coma. But what's happening when I give a reading is this part of my brain, the frontal part, is completely offline. So, but you wouldn't tell. I've seen her live many times. And she's just accessing like the deeper parts of her brain area.
It's a different state of presence. And when I'm in this place of presence, my life gets better.
Yeah, that's great. So
like exponentially better. Like not in small little baby steps. It's like massively better.
Wow. Yeah, like just good shit starts happening right away that you've wanted to happen for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go do this breath work when I get home.
And so how much of like this kind of like wellness do you integrate into your daily life? Like how much time are you putting into this day by day?
I am out of the acute phase of healing.
Okay.
I really, when I filed for divorce, I just felt so much fear.
Right.
And I was like, I'm not a fearful person. I don't know what this is. I need this feeling to go away. So I claimed healing as my word for the year.
Yeah.
And I just prioritized it. I put that in front of everything else.
Sure.
So I cleared full days on my calendar. I did a way less work than I felt comfortable doing, was making a lot less money than I feel comfortable making, but it was all in service to shifting out of this fear state and into a place that felt good inside my body. And it really worked. So I did all of that for like a full year, maybe year and a half. And then I kind of dropped it. Now I'm good. Like I've reset myself.
Yeah. Yeah, your nervous system is fresh.
But I know if I get triggered or I have a relapse, which happens, I know how to cope because I have my supports in place.
You have all the tools.
Yeah. I'll do Rolfing like every few weeks. I still go and see my Rolfer.
Oh, okay.
Do you have a Ralph in New York?
I don't have one in New York.
I was going to say, what's his number?
Oh, I'll ask around for you though.
Yeah, it's something I've always wanted to try. Also, your sexuality changed.
Yeah, totally.
How can you describe that for us? Like after you got your divorce, you came out as queer recently?
Yeah, I mean, not long ago, maybe a couple years ago.
Yeah,
congrats, happy Pride.
Thank you. It's still Pride.
Was that something that you were feeling within the marriage, or that came out after you did the healing?
I didn't feel much within my marriage.
Okay.
when I got out of the marriage and I was dating again, I was just like meeting guys and going on dates, and they were ho-hum. They were so wah, wah.
Yeah. Right.
And I was like, God, I am not the kind of person to just keep doing something over and over again that doesn't work.
Right.
I'm like, what can I change here that would make this better? Because I fought so hard to get out of my marriage. I want a good relationship. I want something that feeds me on every level, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. I want to be connected in all areas because I'm greedy like that. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to open up my app to women. I want to see what this is like. Sure. And then I met May, who was non-binary. And it just like blew my whole world open.
Was that your first date with not a cis man? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how was that? I feel like
I
You
slid
met on
into
an app?
No. I slid into May's DMs. I wrote the story.
Oh, you slid into her. Oh, their DMs. Okay.
I wrote the whole story out because it was just this like incredible synchronicity experience of like so many different parts of my life guiding me towards May. And so I just slid into their DMs, and they were a Survivor fan. So it was a warm intro.
Oh, interesting.
And I went to their comedy show, and that's where we met. Because my sister had gone to May's comedy show, and May said something about Survivor. So I was like, all right, that's it. I'm going to shoot my shot.
Yeah.
And what was it initially that drew you to May? Like, did you see their work?
Yeah, I'd seen The Flight Attendant.
Okay.
The second season of The Flight Attendant, May is on, and I'm like, who is that person? I was just captivated by them. But then I was like, I didn't think anything of it, because I see people on TV, and I'm not going to slide into your DMs if I think you're hot, usually.
I mean, we're in a world where you can do that.
I guess so.
Clearly.
Well, I did.
Yeah, and it worked.
I was on vacation in Mexico with my girlfriend, and I was like, I'm just going to do this.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah, feeling spicy.
And so it was just kind of smooth from jump.
Oh my God. It was so fun. I called my friends who live in New York, and they're lesbians, and I was like, is this a date? Because May and I had chatted, and I was like, I don't know if we're just like fans of each other.
Yeah.
Or is this a date or what? And they're like, well, you'll find out. But if it is, you'll be moving in together like immediately. That's how lesbians do it. I was laughing.
Yeah. And
But it was, basically, like we hit it off so fast. And May and my daughter, it was just like beautiful.
That's really cool.
And then I'm like, I'm queer. I'm like never going back.
Yeah. Right. Gosh.
So much more fun over here.
I also say this on stage a lot. I'm like, ugh, I have a boyfriend. I wish I was not straight, but I am. So ugh, I have a boyfriend. But I think it's interesting how people like. There's so many stories of women married to a man or dating men for their whole lives, and then just like it seems like seeing the light, even though like I still am pretty straight, but it sounds just more free. And also just by your energy talking about it seems...
Okay. So the biggest surprise of this for me was not having the power dynamic.
Right.
That is just inherent in a male-female relationship. Dating, especially. Because we have these sort of little things that we have to perform to date as a woman. For me, this is how it was. I was like, okay, well, I just like wear something cute, and I'm kind of cute, and they open the door, and then they pay for dinner, and I laugh at their silly jokes.
Yep.
And I'm blink my eye. I do this unconsciously. It's just
programming.
Complete routine that I've taught myself since I was like 12. But with May, I didn't do that because May's not a man. So I was like, who am I? Who am I if I'm not like... With a man, I don't have to be a quote unquote woman.
Right.
I can just be.
Yeah, that sounds lovely.
It was really like freeing. It was incredible.
Were you nervous to go I would be nervous to just figure out who pays and who, like there's so many isms where like in a straight relationship, you're like, well, this is how this works. It's very clear. But other ways, I guess you just find out as you go.
I think you just find out, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
It's like you throw yourself into the unknown.
And sexually,
it's just like throwing yourself into the unknown world of strap-ons and toys.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Good for you. Fantastic.
And how long did you guys date for?
Well, it's...
Oh, it's ellipses?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Nice.
Well, we'll read the book and find out.
Read the book and find out.
Interesting.
Oh God, I'm gonna go on a dating app and get a Rolfer after this. You really helped me. How is queer sex different than straight sex? I feel like I know the answer to that, but I would love a bird's eye view from you.
Queer sex is, well, in my experience,
Sure.
it's just more playful and kind of fluid. Like, I lose myself completely because it's like it can get rhythmic, but then it sort of breaks rhythm. And then there can be like a complete shift, or you bring some toy in and then it's like, oh, what's that sensation? There's just so many different things you can do and like roles you can play
Sure. Yeah.
and games to be had.
It does feel more more freeing of an experience to be with not a cis man, just because societally, the male gaze is not a factor at all in any of your movements or decisions or like thinking or,
Yeah.
because sometimes you're having sex and you're watching yourself.
Right. Right. I know.
I feel like that would go out the window.
It does.
That sounds nice.
It's cool.
Yeah. That's really cool. So you have a daughter.
Yeah.
And how do you raise a young woman in today's world?
Oh my God. Well, I encourage her to express herself and be herself. And I let her wear whatever she wants to wear, which is sometimes press-on nails and glitter fishnets. That's what she wore to my book event. And she does like hair chalk and
Nice.
Yeah. And I introduce her to a lot of different varieties of people. I sort of run my home like a commune, the good aspects
good
of
kind.
it. Yeah, the good kind of commune, the Glinda commune, because I want her to be supported by a lot of different kinds of adults.
Yeah.
Who love her and can show her different personalities, different styles of thinking and operating and being in the world. So she just feels like she has a really solid family network. It's not just me I'm a single mom and I hold down the fort. And I bring in, she's got fairy godmothers.
Yeah.
These two girls who I write about in the book, Olive and Ariel, and they're in their late 20s. And they are just her big sisters. And they come and they have campouts in the backyard and slumber parties. And and she loves them. They're her family.
That's great.
And my sister comes over. My dad is there now while I'm doing my book tour. And I just have so many really incredible kind of chosen family members around to help raise her.
Have you educated her on how to know if you're in a cult yet? And if not, if you were to, what would you tell her to watch out for?
I think that will come later.
Yeah.
Yeah, how old is
Seven's
she?
a little young.
Oh, she's 7.
She just turned 7. She's fresh 7.
Yeah, you want her to enjoy her.
Yeah, just enjoy your
beautiful
life.
Innocence.
Because she's terrified. I mean, her friends told her some ghost stories. Now she thinks skeletons are real and they're chasing after her at night.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
So I'm like, I can't talk about cults with this girl yet. No, let's just save Santa, keep Santa real.
As long as you can.
Tooth fairies, Easter bunnies, we love that kind of thing. But the cult stuff will come, and I think it will be necessary. And one of the reasons why I wrote the book and I dedicated it to her, because I want her to have the information.
Yeah.
And I want her to have it in a real, tangible way, because she knows me. She can kind of match up her experience of her childhood and her experience of me to this very human version of myself that I put in this book to support her as she grows into an adult. Because we need that.
Yeah.
Don't you wish your parents wrote a book? I would be so curious.
I feel like a lot of people don't know their parents as well, and we would probably get a lot more stories and understanding for sure.
Well, because we repeat the stuff that our parents did.
Yeah.
So if you can have more insight into your parents' stories,
Right, you can recognize a pattern as it arises.
And then you can be like, oh, that I want to veer away from that one. Like maybe you can kind of cherry pick, I guess, a little bit better if you have more information.
Yeah, well, I think that's like as I got older, like that's what I use the holidays for, just asking all of my relatives. Like, well, first of all, because I just get so bored during the holidays. Like I have a functional family, but it's also boring because like there's no fighting or, alcoholism or anything. So it's nothing spicy. But like they just, I just asked them stories about their childhood, stories about their first date. And I think like basically do a podcast over Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever we're celebrating. And that's been great. So like, yeah, they didn't, unfortunately my family members didn't write any books, but I definitely think that we have to ask questions to people because they'll be dead before you know it, truthfully.
I know. And interviewing my parents for the book was really cool.
Yeah.
Some of the stories I got were really funny.
How long did you sit with them for?
I just called them. They live in Colorado. Mm-hmm. So I called them, and my mom's like, she was real shy and kind of nervous to be in the book. She's like, I don't want people knowing about my life.
Right.
So she's very private.
Yeah, older generations aren't as forward with everything. Like with social media and stuff, I feel like half of our lives are all online already. So.
Right. Yeah, we're more used to kind of being out. And I tend to overshare a little.
Trauma response.
Yeah, like, what do you want to know?
You do.
Yeah, but it was cool. I just had phone calls with them and asked them all these questions and sort of gently kind of allowed them to open up at their pace.
That's
over
nice.
like a month or two.
What's something that really surprised you that you learned about?
Well, I think their histories when they were younger, it was just like how they both had very similar experiences of becoming disillusioned with the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
Like they were both rebels.
Oh, yeah.
And that surprised me because they're both very sort of straight and narrow now. Like they play by the rules now.
Huh.
Yeah.
Maybe they find the rules comforting at this point.
I think, they want a peaceful life for sure. But I will say they are very accepting of me and my rebellious spirit and sort of how I just kind of do what works for me. And sometimes it's out of the realm of normal.
Yeah.
They're like, I think maybe I am like their kind of
like you're going to do what you're going to do.
spirit,
Yeah. Might as well just love you along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like did they have any reaction when you were like, oh, I'm actually queer now?
It was so funny. They didn't. They were like, oh, okay.
Right.
They're like, oh, all right, cool. And my dad just started laughing. He was like, great.
Yeah.
And then my mom was like, well,
good for you, honey.
She'd already asked me if I was a lesbian, like back in the day.
Oh,
so.
really?
Oh,
Yeah.
she sensed it?
She's like, you have all these really deep emotional bonds with your girlfriends. Are you gay? I was like, how dare you? That was when I was in college.
Interesting.
Yeah. But then, no, this is the funny thing was when May and I were together for Christmas and my grandmother called and I was like, oh, Grandma, do you want to say hi to my partner, May? And my grandma was like, May? Your partner's a girl? And I was like, well, they're non-binary. And then my grandma was like,
What the hell's that? The fuck? Yeah.
She was like, huh? You gay? That was so funny.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it was really cute. And then she called me like the following week. She was like, I was so confused. I thought you were joking. I didn't know what was going on. But she's like, I just want you to know I love you and I accept you. And if you're gay, that's great. It was really cute because she's like
nice.
90 years old and lives in Trumptown, New Hampshire.
So it was a lot for her to process.
Yeah, I think so.
But she did a good job.
She did a great job.
We try, yeah. I always forget, to give the older generations grace because they grew up in a reality that was just polar opposite of what we experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm always surprising my extended family members.
Good, give them an education. They got to get it somewhere. Might as well get it from their family.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Now they can read the book.
Yeah.
And then one last thing I wanted to touch on, because we actually did a whole series on, a separate series from the podcast on finances. And I know that you talk about how you won all this money on Survivor and then you mismanaged it a bit. Can you talk about, what you learned about money management or your relationship with money now, how it changed?
Yeah, I really wanted to write about that in the book because
It's important, yeah.
It's so important as women to be financially free and independent, to be able to make your own money, do not rely on anyone else to have that. Because if you need to set up your life in a different way, you have to be financially able to do that. I made some horrendous choices with my money, but it came from a place of this scarcity mindset that I had where like if I didn't have money, that's what motivated me.
Oh, right. So if you spend it, you don't have it and you want to get more of it.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, then I have a purpose in life because I don't have money. So that's my purpose. Now
Chase
I have
that
to make
paper.
money.
Yeah.
So that was just where I was at, like at the time, which was kind of just a lower place on the developmental scale of life. And then, so I lost all my money. I invested it in a wellness center and
Shit.
Yeah.
So you did invest it.
well,
Your
I started
own
a
or
business.
somebody else's?
Mine. It was my
Okay.
survivor winnings. And I write this in the book and I ended up spending all my money in that business. And it was sort of an attempt too to kind of change the narrative that people had about me. Sure, I was seen as this sort of like vapid, skanky reality whore.
You're a greedy slut.
Yeah, a greedy slut, fame whore.
That's what you should have called your yoga retreat, like greedy slut retreat.
that would sell out.
Yeah, I think it would.
Yeah, but I completely shifted my relationship with money over time. I did a lot of work around it. And it really came from starting my coaching practice. When I started life coaching, I started a business. And that was when I was pregnant with my daughter. And I was like, this is what I want. I don't know what my career is going to be in my life, but I know I'm good at helping people. I know I love talking with people and telling them what to do with their lives. So let me see if I can monetize that. And I started this business and it was based on two needs. I needed to have enough money to like pay my rent and cover the bases with my daughter. Because my husband had lost his job at the time. So it was really
wow.
now I was like, oh my God,
breadwinner.
now I had the drive I don't have any money. I got to make some business. And I wanted to own my time. Because I wanted to be able to take care of my daughter myself. I didn't want to have to outsource the care. So I was like, I need to be flexible and have a job or a business that I can work around my life. So I started the coaching practice and it really became something very viable and stable for me and kept growing and growing. And then during COVID, I did all of these online courses and it really boomed.
Oh, cool. Like you taught online like coaching courses? Cool.
And then I weave around and sort of some things that I do to make money will rise to the surface and some things will fall away. But the mindset that I have around money now is very trusting. And I have this very safe relationship that I've developed with it where it's okay to have an abundance of money. I can be generous with my money. I don't have this sense of like that sense of it's running out no longer drives me.
Right.
So I'm driven more
That's
by
great.
creative impulse
Yeah.
than scarcity.
That's amazing. That's credible. Well, thank you so much for chatting with us. Nice Girls Don't Win, How I Burned It All Down to Claim My Power is out now by the time you're listening to this. Do you have a preferred place for listeners to get your book? We always like to not plug the if you don't want that.
Oh, well, if they go to parvatishallowbook.com, all of the places you can get the book are there.
Perfect.
Or you go to the link in my bio.
Okay.
P Shallow is my Instagram handle, and they can find the book there.
Amazing. Thank you so much for chatting with us. This
Thank
is great.
you.
I appreciate
Congrats
it.
on your book.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
exciting.
This has been Guys We Fuck, the anti-slut shaming podcast. We'll talk to you next Friday.